Welcome back, everybody. Something different today. Doing a little landscaping work out front. When Nancy and I first bought this place 4 years ago, we've got this horseshoe driveway. The previous owner spent a fortune on concrete work. We've got this gorgeous horseshoe driveway that goes around the front of the place, but in between the horseshoe was just all weeds and crap and dust and dirt, and just was not pleasant at all. So over the last couple of years, I've been picking away at this project, and Nancy wanted a cactus garden put in front and some shade trees, which is what we've been working on as time and money allow. So what I've been doing is pouring these curbs. Now, all around our place in the concrete work in the backyard, they're bordered by these curbs. So I'm reproducing what's existing on other areas of the property. That pad there is eventually going to be, kind of a decorative entry to the cactus garden from our access road here. And there'll be a winding flagstone pathway around, winding its way up to the other side of the driveway there, leading up to the front entrance of the house. Well, anyway, I've been working on pouring these curbs the last few days. See, I've got the form set for the next batch leading up to the other driveway there. It's been a bit of a challenge because our property gently slopes, and first when I made a mistake and poured it level, then I realized, hey, I'm dealing with a slope. So the rest of them I poured matching the slope. You can see I've got a string line running there, and to account for that. Well, anyway, I've had to temporarily stop because the last couple mornings, including this morning, have been in the low 20s, which is not conducive to curing concrete. As you can see here at the end of my hose, still got some ice. I keep this unplugged at both ends and try to drain the water out of it. I knew the frost was coming, so I'm temporarily held up with finishing the concrete work. See, this is Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Thursday, we're supposed to be in the high 30s. So as far as morning temperatures goes, this is Arizona. It warms up to the high 50s, low 60s during the day. Not a problem. It's at night when the temperature drops like a rock. So Thursday morning I'll start fire this thing up and pour the last bit of the curb there, and then that'll be done. And I've already got the Sedona red rock ordered. I got 12 tons coming. It'll be here a little over a week, which will give me time to finish prepping the ground here. I've got to take my weed burner and go through, and all this dead brown weeds and grass, I'll torch that, and then I've got landscape fabric that's got to go down. And then by the time I'm all done with that, the rock will be here, and then I'll finish filling this all in with the Sedona red rock, and this will be a nice finished little cactus garden area, and dress up the front of the place. As you can see, this is a mimosa tree. Beautiful flowers in the spring. Well, actually, it's all summer long. This has got beautiful light pink blossoms. George, the shade tree fix-it man, if you're watching, you know all about mimosas. You've got some gorgeous ones on your place there in Tennessee. But you'll notice I've got a wire cage around this. In fact, I've got wire cages around all of our, sorry about the shadow, all of our plants, because we've got quite a population of jackrabbits here. I mean, these things are as big as dogs. I mean, they're huge. And if I didn't have these caged with wire fencing, they would literally eat the bark, strip the bark right off the lower section of these trees and kill them. Ask me how I know. This tree here, man, I can't remember the name of the variety off the top of my head. Not a honeysuckle, but it puts out beautiful bell-type wine-colored blossoms in the springtime, very similar to a Pacific Northwest foxglove, wild foxglove flower. Very beautiful. And then Nancy, she had me put these mounds in so she could plant things. She's doing all the cactus stuff. I got this grass, native grass here, cage because, again, jackrabbits. I can't remember the name of the, Nancy knows what all this stuff is, but I can't remember the name of that succulent. But we had another one planted over there, but the doggone wild javelinas did a raid one night, dug it up to eat the tubers off the bottom. So we lost that one. There's a gorgeous little barrel cactus right there, and that puts off beautiful flowers. Here's some prickly pear cactus. This, I just planted that last summer. That is a chocolate mimosa tree. Shadow again, sunlight, sorry. That's a chocolate mimosa. I'm anxious to see what color the blossom's going to be on that. This is a desert bird of paradise. Again, caged because of local wildlife. Nancy propagated this prickly pear cactus. Man, I just can't get away from that shadow. She just took a cutting off a wild one alongside the road. And you know, she's got all the literature and books on how to propagate this stuff, and she followed the directions, and this thing was just one little pad a couple of years ago, and now it's turned into this big cactus. And you can see, ouch, poke myself. You can see the length of these spikes. They mean business. And I just stabbed myself with one trying to film it. Oh, God, Stuart, you cracked me up. Anyway, over here, got a little barrel cactus coming along nicely. This was just a little fur ball like the other one I just showed you a couple of years ago. It's since tripled in size. This is either a yucca plant or an agave. I can't remember which. Again, Nancy's the one doing the research on the cactus, not me. I'm just the grunt labor. So, yeah. So, hopefully here in the next month, I will have this project all wrapped up and kind of give you a perspective of what we're trying to do as far as giving a finished look to the entry to our place here. That's what we're doing. And then over here, I've got my little mini orchard for all my farming buddies that I follow on YouTube and occasionally watch this channel. This is about as close as I get to farming anymore these days. I've got my little fruit orchard. I've always had fruit trees every place we've had. Back in the day, I was really into grafting, which I intend to do here because I've got 8 fruit trees. And, you know, here in the desert, irrigation and water is a big deal. So I didn't want to get 20 or 30 trees. So what I'm going to do is be grafting several varieties of, you know, specific fruit onto these trees. And so out of 6 or 8 trees, I'll have multiple varieties of fruit and using a lot less water. This is a mulberry. Oh, when we first bought the place and I started planting, oh, by the way, we have coos, white-tailed deer here also, so they'll chew these down to the nubs if I don't cage them. I was buying a couple trees at a nursery down by Douglas, Arizona, near the border. And the nurseryman talked me into buying this mulberry. And he said, the reason why is you want a sacrificial fruit to minimize the bird damage on your other fruits. And I tell you, where I come from in the Pacific Northwest, originally, Western Washington State, birds were your friend. Down here, they're the enemy. Anything green, they go after, you know. And so he talked me into buying this mulberry and putting it in. Well, he got me good. What I discovered is this thing flowers and fruits and is all over with long before the other trees ever set any fruit. So that idea went out the window. But the berries are delicious, so you know, it's not a total loss. And as you can see, this thing looks like spaghetti right now. I've been gingerly pruning it and shaping it, and eventually it'll come around. Hopefully, maybe. Santa Rosa Plum. This has been in now a little over a year, and it set fruit last summer. And nice, sweet plums. Got a Bartlett pear over here. Got fruit off of that last summer. And I got to it just in time. The birds had just found the fruit and was able to rescue the pears. So we're getting pears now. This is a little dwarf Red Haven peach. I'm giving it one more season. It's never really done well. It's tried. It has set a couple of peaches a couple times, but it just, I don't know. I don't know if it's the soil or what. I got to do a little more research, but it's not real happy here. However, the Fay Alberta peach that I just planted last year, it's very happy here, and it shot right up. It put on about a foot of growth last summer, and it's looking really good, and I expect it to set fruit this year. So, yeah. And I had a couple apple trees fail in this spot, mainly because me not watering properly. And so I've got that figured out, and so the latest apple planted here is an Anna variety, and I chose this tree specifically because that's our youngest daughter's name. That's the only reason why I planted it. I have no idea how good the fruit is. I'm going to find out. Over there, that's the first tree I planted when we moved here. That is a Fuji apple, and it's very happy. I just pruned that here a week ago, and I took a cutting. The branches on this really aren't large enough in diameter yet to graft, but I did it anyway. I took a Fuji cutting, and you can see right there, and obviously, if you're familiar with grafting, I should have chose a branch farther up, and you know, to be more dominant instead of down here at the bottom rung. But it's the only one that was thick enough to take the scion wood that I cut off the other. And so I've got a Fuji grafted on here. And the buds are starting to get fat, as are the buds on the Anna itself. So we'll see if that takes. It's interesting. I still have, after all these years, my dad's block of grafting wax that is at least 50 years old, still in the original box, although that's disintegrating. So I got that out, heated it up a little bit, and used that to seal. I wrapped Teflon tape around the graft union very tightly, and then sealed it with Dad's old grafting wax along with the very tip of the scion so it doesn't dry out. And we'll see how that graft goes. Anyway, I didn't intend for this video to be that long, so I'm going to shut up here. You can see what else I've been up to besides stumbling around in the shop. And so anyway, I'm going to cut it off here and watch for my next video coming up, because I'm building a pipe anvil, and so that'll be featured. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.